Hey guys, I hope it's been a good week for you. I can't say the same. I got the stomach flu, and it was horrible. It was like 3 days of just puking my brains out, and it was terrible. So here I am this week, and the topic is coming out. Coming out is of course important to every trans person or LGBT person in general, because of course we all, for the most part, have to do it. Coming out is important because it puts you on a level plane with everyone else of being honest and completely true about who you are to them, and by extension to people you don't know yet. It means that you can be honest with them because you won't be revealing any secrets about yourself that your family doesn't know. So, to a lot of people, it's a really good time, and they think, not necessarily coming out itself, but afterward, the feeling of being honest and completely out in the open with everyone is a big deal. For some it sucks, and for others it's something they remember as being good and helpful. So I think anyone can agree that it's pretty stressful, and a lot of times you wonder how you can do it, the best way or the easiest way. So I'm gonna try and cover what I think is helpful. The first and definitely by far the most important thing to consider when coming out is your safety. Especially with trans people, but very much with gay people too, is that your safety is so important. It can be tricky, and some days you might be just so frustrated you just want to just tell everyone and get it over with, but it's really important and really, really just so necessary that you consider your safety and try and predict without freaking yourself out or dramatizing. Just try to consider what might happen, what will probably happen, what could happen, and put it in perspective and think about what you need to do to protect yourself. Because as you may or may not know, violence against trans people is high, and that does include family members or friends even. It's dangerous, and on top of that, you have to worry about strangers, and it's not that you should live your life in fear, but you have to consider the possibility of being kicked out, and what you're going to do, or being, temporarily having to relocate, or even having to defend yourself. It's important that you place backup plans for where you can go for at least a week. Make sure you have things ready and a little money. To some it may seem excessive, but I have seen too many stories and heard too many stories of trans people being kicked out without a backup plan. So if you're worried about your family, safety is the most important. So a lot of times I think that we tell ourselves that we need to wait for the perfect time. We tell ourselves that we'll come out as soon as the moment's perfect, and we're sitting in the sunset with our parents drinking champagne, and we just finished telling each other how much we love each other, and so I take my mother's hands and say, "Mom, I'm trans," and everyone claps and celebrates, and the end. But unfortunately, I don't know about you, but I haven't gotten my parents to sit in front of any sunset anytime ever. I think it's safe to say we need to give up the idea of the perfect moment, and I think that's important because it will never come, and if you rely on it, then you can probably plan on being in the closet for a long time. Another thing that I think is really important is to consider what will happen afterward too, because immediately after, things aren't just going to go back to normal, unfortunately. And I think the advice I would give myself and a lot of trans people is be absolutely ready to put on just the most mature adult persona possible, because A, you want to be taken seriously when you do come out, and B, there's going to be certain kinds of fallout afterward, and I think it's imperative so that you don't have a miserable time, which some of the time I did because I didn't completely heed this advice. And it applies to any kind of family, if they're the angry type, or my family is more the humor-driven type, and you can almost guarantee that there's going to be a level of immaturity about it, unless you have, like, the most awesome family in the world. Because what tends to happen is either the insults fly and the, harassment in the case of a more mean family, or in the case of like my family, the jokes fly, they'll call you tranny, or this is my he, she, sister, brother, oops, kind of immature jokes and immature comments, and it's not okay, but I think it's absolutely imperative for the first, week or so that you try and just be the most calm and mature you can possibly be, because it really makes a difference in being taken seriously and avoiding confrontation against you in the beginning. Because if it's anything like my experience, they'll look for those holes and they'll try and call you defensive, or try and say, well, if you were sure, you wouldn't act like this. So try to be unreactive. I beg you, because it's so important, and it's a mistake that I made, where with the jokes and the comments, I was very reactive, and at times, I wasn't always, but at times, and it was used against me so badly, and it's important. I know it's shallow, and of course getting mad doesn't change who you are, but taking away those weapons from them can really help.